So we talked about exponential and logarithmic functions being inverses of each other. So let's show you what that looks like on the graph. So let's say we have a function that says f of x equals 2 to the x power. And we wanted to graph it. We could make a little table of values. I'm just going to do a couple points. -1 would be 1/2, 0 would be 1, 1 would be 2. So it would look like this. So it's like a little graph there. Okay, now we're going to switch and do the function f of x equals log base 2 of x. Now we're going to convert that 2 to the y, because that's f of x, equals x. And we're going to make a little table of values like we did when we were graphing these, x and y. We're going to pick -1, 0, and 1. See, what's happening is the x's and y's are switching places because it's the inverse function. So then the 1/2, the 1, and the 2 are going to be over here. Now when we graph that, we get 1/2 -1, 1, 0, and 2, 1. So it goes, let me scoot it up a little bit. It goes like this. Now, if we were to draw the y, if we were to draw the y equals x line, that diagonal that goes through, and you were to fold your paper on that diagonal, that green line, the points that are orange are going to line up with the points that are black. And that's what inverse functions do when you graph them. They're symmetric about that diagonal line. Okay? Now let's go ahead and do the same thing for the other types that we were looking at. So we're going to look at f of x equaling 1/2 to the x power. So a base that's less than 1. So we can make a table of values. We're just going to do, we're just going to do a little one here. X and f of x. And we're going to put in -1, 0, and 1. So we're going to get 2, 1, and 1/2. Okay? Let's make sure I've got everything right there. -1, 2. So -1, 2 is up here. 0, 1. And then 1, 1/2 is like this. And the graph looks like this. We did those graphs in section 10.2. Okay, now we're going to do the inverse. The inverse is going to look like f of x equals, I should put the inverse notation, huh? I didn't do that up above. All right, so it's going to be log base 1/2 of x. So if you say, here's my x and here's my y, and then I'm going to switch them because it's the inverse, right? So it's going to be 2, -1, 1, 0, 1/2, 1. Okay, now let's graph these. 2, 1. No, 2, -1. Sorry, I read that wrong. You're probably going, what? 2, -1. 1, 0. And 1/2, 1. Like there. What happened to my 2, -1? It's right there. All right, and that graph looks like this. Now again, if you were to pull out that diagonal, going through here, that y equals x line, and you were to fold on the green line, the points of the function and the points of the inverse would line up on top of each other. Okay? So that's what those graphs do. I'm going to go back up here. I'm going to put the inverse notation. I should have done that before. So let's make that say f inverse of x. Okay? So that's how those work, and that's how the graphs look.